Hi, guys and girls, welcome to another edition of Nerd Addiction. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the new up and coming Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. We thought, with the film due out in cinemas very shortly all around the world, apart from Great Britain, because we got to wait an extra month, we'd give you a rundown of our favourite 10 Ant-Man story arcs from the past 60 years. So, without further ado, let's go straight in. Okay, and straight in number 10, we've got the Alias story arc written by Bendis with the art by Michael Gaydos. Not everyone remembers, but long before she hooked up with Luke Cage, Jessica Jones had a very lengthy relationship with Scott Lang. Her debut series features Lang as a supportive, if not slightly incompatible, romantic interest for a large portion of the run. At one point, he receives a gruesome death, but as it turns out, it's just one of Jessica's freakouts. Yay, Lang lives! So let's move on to the number 9. In at number 9 we got Ultron Unlimited, written by Busek artist George Perez and Alve. Now, the history of Hank Pym will be forever tied to his slightly insane, very insane, murder bot that he created, Ultron. This event features the Avengers' most impressive defeat of the android yet, with the kidnapped Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne leading the charge from within Ultron's stronghold in the fictional Slorenia. This makes our number 9. Let's take a look at the number 8. Okay, and the number 8, The Court Martial of Yellow Jacket, written by Jim Shooter with the art by Alan Cooperberg, Bob Hall and Dan Green. Now, this story, it may not qualify as the very best of Hank Pym, but it is undoubtedly among the most important moments in the character's entire history. After a breakdown causes him to take on a reckless and violent persona of Yellow Jacket, Pym physically abuses Janet, the Wasp, and finds himself on the outside of the Avengers until he can get his life together again. So let's move on. In at number 7 we got the Secret Avengers arc, written by Rick Remender with the art by Patrick Zircher and Gabriel Hardman. Eric O'Grady has traditionally been the least heroic of the various Ant-Man personas we've seen over the years, but this storyline, it finally gave him a chance to prove himself a true Avenger. Facing a literal army of artificial beings bent on capturing a superpowered young boy, O'Grady makes a heroic last stand, only to be viciously murdered before his teammates can catch up. A heroic, if unfortunate, end for this former Ant-Man. R.I.P. Eric. Moving on. And number 6, Hero Within, written by David Michelin and Bob Layton, with some beautiful art by Jerry Bingham. Now, remember back to Captain America's Civil War, we saw a very memorable and amusing scene in which Ant-Man entered the suit of Tony Stark in order just to cause a little bit of havoc. This storyline features a much more peaceful kind of suit entering process though. This time around, Scott Lang has got to extract Stark from his own Iron Man armour before his air runs out, making this a true race against the clock adventure. Avengers Academy Fear Itself makes it in at number 5, written by Christos Cage with the art by Sean Chen and Tom Rainey. Now, the Avengers Academy series, it puts Hank Pym into a whole new role. He's a teacher and a caretaker of a new generation of heroes. The Fear Itself tie-in, it saw Hank Pym proving that he was the right choice for this job, as he takes on an Asgardian-powered absorbing man in Titania to protect the students and save the world for another day. And in at number 4 we have And There Came a Day by Stan the Man Lee and Jack Kirby. Now, first ever issue of the Avengers could be potentially the most important comic book of all time, and it's one of the most important comic books for a reason. It marked a serious increase in the importance of Hank Pym and his definitely better half Janet Van Dyne. Ant-Man and the Wasp were shown here to be founding members of Earth's Mightiest Heroes and both prove essential to the team's very first victory. We think that makes this a very worthy number 4 on our list. Could have been possibly higher, but wait till you see what's in the top 3. Number 3, now we're into the real meat and bones of the Ant-Man storylines here. This is Rage of Ultron, the graphic novel, written by Rick Remender with the art by John Apina. It's one of the most beautiful graphic novels released in the past 20 years, in my opinion. Marvel doesn't publish a lot of its own original graphic novels anymore, though, but they busted out the format for this story of the final battle between Ultron and his creator Hank Pym. The tale sees Pym determined to remove the threat he created once and for all, and he ends by making the ultimate sacrifice to protect his teammates from his murderous robot murdered child thing. Anyway, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is Everybody Loves a Team Up, written by Nick Spencer with the art by Ramon Rosales. The story revolves itself around former criminal Scott Lang trying and failing to use his superpowers for a legitimate business purpose. He starts his own security company. He's joined in his enterprise by a collection of not so well reformed supervillain characters, and this is Lang at his best intentioned, even if as always it just doesn't succeed at getting him to his goals. Check it out though, hell of a story to make the number 2, real fun. Let's move on to the biggie. Drum roll, number 1, Straight In. And here it comes, the big one, the number 1, Second Chance Man, written by Nick Spencer, art by Ramon Rosales. Scott Lang, you may remember, killed during the Avengers Disassemble storyline, but his daughter Cassie, Stature from the Young Avengers, fought to bring him back to life. This series shows Scott Lang getting a second go at his life, and in true Scott Lang fashion, he then goes and messes it up again. But it doesn't detract from the fact this one hell of a story and our number 1 in all of the Ant-Man story arcs from down the past 60 years. If you haven't read it, check it out. And there you have it, guys, our Ant-Man top 10 story arcs. Hope you enjoyed what we had to give you. Thanks for letting me in your ears. Till next time, I've been Drew the Beard. Any disagreements with this, sound off in the comments. Peace.
Maybe you just need someone watching your back.